It's happening, it's happening, it is happening! So friends, you might remember about a year ago, Lauren Oliver's book Delirium got optioned to be a pilot at Fox, and we were all super excited. The fandom was just basically exploding with feels, and for one, I'm not the biggest fan of Delirium. I tried reading the book twice and couldn't get through it either time, but I really like the actors that had been cast in the pilot, so I was actually really excited to see the series and hope that it got picked up. But I had my reservations instantly because it was a Fox series, and I really didn't feel like Delirium fit Fox's model, so I wasn't that surprised when they didn't pick it up, but I was really disappointed, and a lot of people were. But now we no longer have to be disappointed because a year later we are finally going to see that pilot thanks to Hulu. It was released last week online, the trailer for this pilot, and we're all going to be able to see it come Friday, so I am now super excited to see it and be able to judge it for myself if it's bad or good, if it should have got picked up for a series or if it should not have. So I am going to watch the trailer for the pilot now with all of you and give you my discussions, my predictions for how I think this is going to go. So yeah, let's watch it.
Fortunately, science has provided our minds stay intact, but our hearts can no longer be broken.
Lena Holloway.
That's me. I believe in the cure.
We need to stay the course. Outside of our city boundaries, there is a resistance movement, and we will not let them ruin all we have accomplished.
There's a lot going on that you don't know about. This is no way to live.
I don't get it, Alex. What do you want from me? I know what you're going through. You need help.
It is one sacrifice, Alex. One.
You're in love with him.
It just made me feel.
Who do you think you are?
One person finds it easy to go along with the crowd, while another stands against it.
Okay, where to start with that? It looks like the pilot is going to be the entire first book, which makes sense because a lot of series, when they're based on books, they do that. Pretty Little Liars did that. It did the entire book in its first episode, so then it can kind of go its own way and change things where it needs to, which obviously it's going to have to because, like I said, I didn't finish the first book, so I didn't get to the second book, but I know what happens and how Julian enters the picture and all that, and he's in the pilot, which is like, if it's the first book, Julian wouldn't be there, so it makes sense, I guess, to put him in there, even though I don't really know what his function is, like, does he live in the city or outside the city, but it makes sense. Like, TV series wise, you don't just want to introduce this character halfway through. Like, they didn't do that with Damon and Stefan. Make this love triangle from the start and make it good so fans can pick their side. But I don't know how it's gonna go. It looked good. Like, it looked like it stayed true to the book, aside from the whole Julian thing. It's got the cows or the sheep, whatever that was. Alex was a lot less subtle than he was in the books. I feel like Alex would have got caught by now if he lived like he did in that TV show, because he was like 2 feet in front of the investigators, whatever, officials, when the cow sheep came in, and he just starts laughing. And I was like, I think they would have caught on to that when you're supposed to be like this stoic, no-nonsense guy and you're laughing at a prank right in front of their faces. I think they would have caught on to that. I feel like Lena's character, it just wasn't established well enough, which I feel like it's not who put the trailer here. It's not their fault because they only have, what, 42 minutes to work with? They only have this one pilot. It's not like there's a bunch of extra episodes or it's a movie where you can pick and pull scenes. So obviously they didn't have a lot to pick and pull from, but Lena just looked very weak as a character, which is one of my qualms with the book, that I felt like she was a weak character in Delirium. I don't know if she changed in the next two, but she was just very weak for me. And I feel like in a time when we are like obsessed with Katniss Everdeen and Trish Pryor and The Walking Dead and all those badass girls, I feel like Lena is not going to connect with the audience in the way that she might have 5 or 6 years ago when Twilight came out and everyone was kind of on this love dove, like the female character and the male character getting together and blah 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 and all that stuff, because we've moved on now. I think we as a culture now, we like and focus more on the action story and separated from the romance. We still like the romance, but if that's all that's holding together a show, a book, a story, anything, it just kind of falls apart and we lose interest. So that worries me a little that it's not going to do well, because I don't actually even know what they're going to do with this. Like, how, A, can you tell how many people watch it, and then B, like, are they actually going to make it a TV show on Hulu if it does well? I guess they're treating it like a mini movie event, but still, it's only going to be 42 minutes. So I don't really know how that's going to go. I did like, though, the whole scenes and the narration with all the action, and how, like, when you take away what makes us human, we have to fight for our humanity, because I think that's a very strong premise. I think Delirium does have a very strong premise about if you take love away and basically all our emotions, what's left of us that makes us human. And I feel like the TV show could explore it more than the books did, because obviously the books have to end eventually, whereas the TV show could have gone on and on and on. But this pilot, I don't know how it's gonna go, because it's only like one thing, obviously, and it's weird because pilots we know set up the rest of the season. So it's like, if it's just this pilot and then we get all these mysteries and maybe like Alex getting kidnapped at the end and Lena making it out, and we're like, oh, what's gonna happen? We gotta watch the next episode. And then there's no next episode. Like, it's just gonna be weird, I think. Not impressed with Alex either. He doesn't A, look like what I pictured, even though I read the book like a year ago. He just does not have that Alex charisma from what I saw in the trailer. It's just, I don't know, I don't like it. Makes him seem very like forceful, like Lena's like, what do you want from me, Alex? And he's just like, let me give you a kiss. Like, it's just weird. I'm like, no, we don't have to do that. That's not what love is, okay? And then Julian, I don't even know if he said one word in that trailer, because I don't know anything about Julian's character except that he's the other point of this love triangle with Lena and Alex. So I don't even know what his function is, but I do like the guy that plays him. I remember him on Wizards of Waverly Place, and he's in that new show, Faking It. So they do remake this show. I don't think he's going to be back in it because he's on Faking It. So why would you do shows that? Then Emma Roberts, of course, is already doing her own thing with American Horror Story and all that, so she's got that covered. So I feel like this is really going to be a one-time event. And maybe, and this is just a crazy theory, maybe Fox is so tired of all the Delirium fans yelling at them for not picking up the pilot that they're like, we're going to put this pilot out and we are going to show you how bad it is, and you are going to thank us and basically grovel at our feet for not ever releasing this to the public and not making a real series. It almost feels like two different series, and I felt like that was the same as reading the book too. It was like there was this whole romance love kind of where you're just like, bleh, gag me, and then there's this random action scenes where you're like, what's going on? Like the cop fighting and all that, and it just tries to make it seem so much bigger, I think, than it really is, because it's really honestly just about this one girl fighting for love. And it's like, when you try and bring in the politics and all that, yes, it's great and it's a good idea. It's what happened with Katniss, it's what happened with Trish. It can work wonderfully, but when you have a character like Lena, I just don't think she's strong enough to support one. So I really don't know how audiences are going to respond to this. I feel like obviously the only people that are really going to watch this are fans of the book or who know about the book like I do. I don't know if I didn't read the book or if I didn't know about Delirium, if that would make me want to watch it. Again, I feel like it was weird that it was supposed to go on Fox too. I feel like if it was on CW, I'd be more okay with the concept of this becoming a series, but Fox, I just feel like I don't think of them as the audience or the target for who this show would have been targeted to, so I don't know why they had it in the first place. Lena, I feel like we didn't really even get a lot of her, like I said. Like, she had the nice little narration, but it was like she was obviously reading from something then that wasn't like her own thoughts. We never really saw her like rebelling or anything. Like, we saw her running and kissing and falling in love when she shouldn't, but we never got inside her head with where she was thinking and where she was at mentally, like realizing that maybe this society isn't the best option. It does look like they try and bring in the broader spectrum of everyone else and see how they function in this society, but I don't know if it's gonna work. The action scenes did look cool though, and I really like the concept, like I said. Oh, I think it's intriguing. I'm definitely going to watch it when it comes out Friday. We'll see how it goes, and maybe I will make a review of it then, and see what I thought of it then, because the trailer has piqued my interest, to say the least. So I'll check it out and see what I think, and I mean, maybe it's a good thing if I don't like it, because then I won't be disappointed when there's not more episodes to watch. So there's your silver lining for you people. If you're depressed about it, just look at it that way. So if you have seen the trailer, now is the time for you to leave down below what you thought. What was your favorite scene? What are you most worried about? Are you looking forward to seeing this pilot? And like I said, it's just going to be the pilot, so don't get your hopes up too high, because all the mysteries that they start in the pilot are never going to be resolved because there's not a second episode. So overall, yeah, I'm intrigued, interested. not that impressed, not like, wow, I need to see this, but I'm glad we're finally actually going to get to see it, because I thought that they should do this a lot when there's a pilot like that has so much interest in it. Just release the pilot and let us see it, and it'll calm us down and keep us happy. So yeah, leave your comments down below when you actually watch Delirium. Come back and leave what you thought, and look out for my review of it if I do one. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time when we can decide once and for all if Delirium the pilot is like love and is a disease that needs to be cured or an affection to be fought for. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. Bye!